Hey y'all, this is Manny. I'm out here right now. I still need to get my turkey. My turkey. Did you hear that? I think that's him. Anyway, this is the Thanksgiving Day special. There he is! Oh my god, that was Big O. Somebody cue the music. Damn it, what a way to start Thanksgiving. I mean, I cannot believe that, those muskets are just not so dependable. I had no idea he was there. He was in the line of fire, folks. The good thing is that the doctors, they're able to take care of him over at the local Dallas General, and they said that with that big recall they had of airbags, that they'll be able to patch up his behind real easy, because unfortunately he was facing away from me and he got a ass full of lead. But, our prayers are with Big O, and I'm sure some of you, wish him the best. I think I'm going to need a bigger gun for this turkey because the damn thing keeps running away, and I really thought this musket thing would work. What a waste of freaking time. Anyway, this is episode 70 of the UFO Report. I am Manny Moonraker, and we are currently celebrating Thanksgiving here in the United States. So if you want to know what Thanksgiving is about, you better just Google it, because this is not that kind of show. I mean, we might shoot a co-host in the ass, but we are not going to go out and talk about Thanksgiving. Period. End of story. But in the meantime, I do have two other stories to talk about, because that's why we're here. We need to talk about what's going on. The first story we're going to talk about was about a signal that was beamed to space aliens. And some, of course, are saying that's a bad idea. Now, the story is about Doug Vakoch, or Vakoch. He's the founder of the San Francisco-based nonprofit known as METI International. That's right, they dropped the S and went with the M. METI International. He wants to send messages to deep space. But you know what? This is one of those episodes where I don't have to tell you what he's thinking about. I'm going to play it for you. The next 4 minutes, you're going to hear Dougie talk about his METI situation, and then we'll kind of recap it a little bit at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Doug the Vakoch.
My name is Doug Vakoch, and I'm president of METI, organization dedicated to messaging extraterrestrial intelligence. For over 50 years, astronomers have been searching for extraterrestrial intelligence, a project called SETI. But at METI, we reverse the process. Instead of listening for signals, we send powerful, intentional signals to other worlds in the hope of getting a reply. I designed my first interstellar message when I was still a student at high school. In the past, when people have sent messages into space, it wasn't clear where should you send it. Now is an excellent time to be sending signals to other worlds because we know which worlds to target. Scientists have learned a lot about the universe in recent decades. We know now that there are planets around virtually every star, so there are a lot of places that life could exist, but does it really exist? In sonar calling GJ273b, we are taking a first step at making contact with one particular exoplanet. GJ273b is an interesting exoplanet, similar in composition to the Earth, a little bit bigger. It's what we call a super-Earth. The star that it orbits, Luyten star, is only 12.4 light years from Earth. We can send a message and potentially get a reply back in 25 years. It's a very nice coincidence because that corresponds to sonar's 50th anniversary in the year 2043. METI's role in sonar calling GJ273b is to craft the message that will help the extraterrestrials understand us. We can't assume that the aliens are going to know English or Spanish or Swahili. We need to start with something that we have in common. The movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind suggested that music is a natural universal language. That really makes sense. Because if you think about it, music at its core can be described in terms of mathematics and physics. In our October 2017 transmissions from the IceCat antenna, we sent signals of only 2 different frequencies. That's the traditional way. When we send our next round of transmissions in April 2018, we're going to do something radically different. We will turn the radio antenna into a musical instrument itself. And so when you hear a basic melody, like in Close Encounters, da 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 da, that's something that we could actually directly send in the message itself. We have developed a mathematical and scientific tutorial that will communicate the essential ideas needed to understand the radio signals that we're sending. And what could be more basic than just saying how we count? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what we begin with. And then once we can talk about numbers, we can explain how we use them. So we do basic arithmetic like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We're also communicating about basic notions of triangles, trigonometry. And once we can do that, we have the tool we need to describe waves, these simple fractions that change over time. When we talk about time, we do it by sending signals that last different times, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And so our mathematical description actually connects to the signal that the extraterrestrial is getting. Now, by doing that, we're creating a message that has a much greater opportunity to be understood. And when we send our final set of transmissions in April 2018, we will end by setting a very specific date in the year 2043 when we will be listening for their reply.
Okay, maybe I mispronounced his name, Sumi. I mean, you heard the way he pronounces it. Whatever. I just went with what I saw. That's what I gave you. Don't listen to me. Listen to Doug. But listen, it is fascinating how all of a sudden people are coming out of the woodwork. I mean, what the hell is going on? There are so many people jumping on the alien UFO bandwagon. It's amazing. It is amazing how many different perspectives, how many different ways people are trying to really answer this question. And this is, I hate to say it, but this might be the golden era of ufology. We are stumbling on the golden era. Because everyone's looking for freaking ET. There will be no more probing, you little gray fuckers. It's just not going to happen anymore because we're going to find you. We are looking for you. There's a contract out on your head. Your big almond-shaped eyes and your bitty, itty little, tiny little mouth. And we're the ones playing the banjos this time. Now, isn't it fascinating that they actually picked this so-called Luyten star, which is also known as GJ273. The damn thing is 12 light years away. Now, how many stories have we not seen in the last year about freaking planets, planets being around stars that are only like 4.2 far away? That's where 4.2 far came from. Because they were only 4.2 light years away. Why in the hell is this rubber dicker going to wait a total of over 2 decades to get a message back? When you can actually just wait 8 years. I mean, that's the term of the new president, right? If they get voted in twice. But no, he wants to make sure he's not even around for when they respond, if they do. I hadn't heard of METI until now, and I don't know if you guys have, but it's a great idea. I like METI. Now, there are people saying that it's a bad idea to send messages to aliens because we don't know what in the hell is going to be up their behind when they get the message. And you guys have seen this story because it is the one and only brain for humanity. You know, the guy that's in a wheelchair and he's popping out babies like crazy. It is the physicist named Stephen Hawking. And you've seen this. I mean, they keep on repeating it. It gets regurgitated over and over again through social media because when Stephen Hawking talks through his computer voice, everybody listens. And Stephen says it is a bad idea to be mucking around with entities that you have no idea what their intent's going to be. And you're going to invite them to send the message back. And what if the message doesn't come back, but they do? And they show up with really negative intent. So, you know, that's the issue now. Well, actually, there's one more issue. Apparently, because these are signals that are being sent to that GJ273, it might interfere with SETI. Because SETI is the listening part of things. So now, is active SETI going to be receiving messages that are really actually being sent away? That's the problem, folks. So I guess someone has to decide which part of the sky they're going to be doing their thing, and really which one of these programs has real value. Is it METI or is it SETI? Son of a gun, a freaking turkey just ran by me. Oh boy. This turkey's goose is cooked. Anyway, it's a great idea, regardless of the fact that they picked a freaking star that's too damn far. But hey, more power to them. Mr. Vakoch, you all right with me, buddy. You're all right with me.
You're listening to UFO Buster Radio, and I have a question for you. Do you like to go fishing, or do you want to learn how to fish? Well, I have the answer for you. Whether you're an avid angler or just starting out, Angling Waters Outdoors is the place to learn and advance your fishing skills. I'll be your guide, Marty Angler. And I'm not just a bass fishing tournament angler, but I also like to fish for other species as well. I'll help guide you through the different methods and baits to help you catch more fish all year long. So catch me at Angling Waters Outdoors here on Spreaker. Now back to UFO Buster Radio and my friend, Manny Newman.
Damn, there it goes again. I'm just going to give up. I don't want the damn turkey anymore. I think I'll just settle for ham. I'll just eat ham for Thanksgiving. Screw the turkey. I mean, he's like freaking the Roadrunner over here. I don't want to have another casualty on my hands. I don't want another lead-filled ass this Thanksgiving. So we might have to pass on the turkey, even though I've got this piece of hardware here just waiting to take him out. So the next story is something that some of you might actually relate to in some weird way or another. The story is about the first Global Flat Earth Conference, and it took place, and actually hundreds of people attended. For those of you that live on the east coast of the United States, it happened in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, damn, that is like one of the last places I would think that people would be conducting a conference on the Earth being flat. And not just any conference, because apparently approximately 400 people attended this conference to, take in other points of view and evidence regarding why the Earth was flat, but also to shell out between $109 and $249. I could have told them the Earth was flat for a mere $15.95. Saved them a lot of money. But apparently these 400 folks are serious as shit. They believe the Earth is flat. And this November, there was that conference, and they got together and talked about it. They talked about theories, evidence of why it's flat, and basically how they're gonna go up against the rounders, as they call everybody else, and kind of push science, push the Egberts and the pencil neck geeks into finally acknowledging that the Earth is actually flat. And here's one theory that came out of this particular conference. And they point as evidence that the Earth is not spherical, because if a helicopter would hover in one place, the flat Earth theory is that eventually, if it just stood there, basically whatever destination they were going to would come to the helicopter. Which is a fascinating theory, I gotta say, when you think about it. But again, let's understand this, that the helicopter is moving to a direction measured in miles, not in the relatively small amount that it's going to experience the entire planet moving under it. So, no. That theory just does not work for me. But if someone has a better one, I'm sure next November there will be another Flat Earth conference. And, have at it. Let's get these theories out there. A popular Flat Earth YouTuber by the name of Mark Sargent said, "I think we're almost at the critical mass point. Science is going to have to address this plain and simply. They cannot dodge us forever." And Mark, I think forever has been a very long time, because it's been a while since any rubber dicker has thought that the place was flat. What's fascinating in the story is that, of course, the author points to the fact that there's been several missions into space, and NASA has confirmed that the Earth is kind of not flat, more roundish-like, not a perfect sphere, but still not exactly flat either. I mean, it just gets me. It gets me how, aren't there better things to talk about in this world than whether or not the Earth is flat? I mean, what happens if it is flat? What exactly is it going to prove? What's going to change if it's flat? Apparently, nothing's going to change, because if it is flat, we're doing just damn fine. Nothing's going to change. We're going to measure and do everything the same way. So I think whether or not it's flat is irrelevant. And again, why is it that only the Earth is flat, according to them, in our solar system, and everything else you look at is spherical? Things that you have to think about. But I wish you a fantastic Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. or anywhere in the world and you celebrate it anyway. And either way, I thank you all for listening. Oh, there's that turkey! Anyway, this is Man Moonraker. Follow me on social media. I gotta go pick that corpse up now before PETA shows up. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and hey, ciao. I'll catch you next week.